Every night, your body enters a silent negotiation, not with your mind, but with your muscles. While you sleep, your muscles decide one of two things: to repair and strengthen, or to slowly break down. Most people believe muscle health depends only on exercise and protein. But what if the real battle happens after the lights go out? What if the reason so many people wake up stiff, weaker, or sore has nothing to do with age and everything to do with what they didn't take before bed? Tonight, you're going to learn why muscle loss often begins in silence, why nighttime is the most critical window for muscle repair, and what your body desperately needs before sleep to protect strength, mobility, and independence. Miss this, and no amount of daytime effort fully compensates for it. When you lie down to sleep, your body shifts into repair mode. Growth hormones rise, inflammation should fall, and damaged muscle fibers are meant to rebuild stronger than before. But this process only works if your system has the right raw materials available. Without them, your body is forced to recycle muscle tissue just to survive the night. That's when weakness creeps in quietly. One of the most overlooked elements of muscle health is magnesium. Not flashy, not trendy, yet deeply involved in muscle relaxation, nerve signaling, and protein synthesis. At night, magnesium helps muscles release tension, prevents cramping, and allows deep sleep, the very state where muscle repair happens most efficiently. Low magnesium doesn't just affect sleep quality, it directly interferes with how muscles recover. Then there's glycine, an amino acid that acts like a calming signal for the nervous system. Glycine lowers core body temperature and improves sleep depth, but it also supports collagen production, essential for tendons and connective tissue that hold muscles together. When glycine is missing, muscles may feel tight, fragile, or slow to recover, even if strength training is consistent. Another silent protector is vitamin D, often thought of as a daytime nutrient. But its role in muscle fiber activation and strength maintenance continues around the clock. Without adequate levels, muscle cells respond poorly to repair signals. Over time, this leads to reduced power, balance issues, and a higher risk of injury, especially noticeable upon waking. The danger isn't dramatic, it's subtle. You wake up feeling a little weaker than before, a little stiffer. You blame sleep position, stress, or age, but in reality, your muscles were undernourished during their most important repair window. Here's the powerful truth. Muscle health isn't just built in the gym, it's protected at night. A simple, intentional bedtime routine, supporting relaxation, deep sleep, and cellular repair can mean the difference between muscles that slowly fade and muscles that remain strong, responsive, and resilient over time. Ignore the night, and the day will always feel harder. Respect the night, and your body rewards you quietly. Every morning you wake up stronger than expected. And this raises an important question. If nighttime nutrition matters this much for muscles, what other systems in the body are silently depending on what you do before bed? Even when you eat well, exercise regularly, and believe you're doing everything right, muscles can still weaken quietly at night. This isn't because your body is failing you, it's because nighttime places unique demands on muscle tissue that most people never consider. In fact, the hours you spend asleep are not passive. They are one of the most active periods for muscle breakdown and repair, and if the balance tilts the wrong way, weakening begins silently. When you fall asleep, your body enters a prolonged fasting state. Blood sugar drops, insulin remains low, and your system looks for fuel to maintain vital functions. If easily available nutrients are scarce, the body turns to internal reserves. Unfortunately, muscle tissue is one of the largest and most accessible amino acid stores. This means that even with a good diet during the day, your body may still break down muscle proteins overnight to keep blood glucose stable and organs functioning. This process is subtle, gradual, and often unnoticed until strength begins to fade. Sleep itself also creates vulnerability. During deep sleep, growth hormone is released, which should stimulate muscle repair and regeneration. But this process is highly dependent on nutrient availability and nervous system balance. If minerals that regulate muscle contraction and relaxation are low, muscles remain tense instead of fully relaxing. Tense muscles don't repair efficiently. They stay in a low-grade stress state, consuming energy instead of rebuilding tissue. Over time, this leads to poor recovery, stiffness in the morning, and reduced muscle responsiveness. Another hidden factor is inflammation. While sleep is meant to reduce inflammation, poor quality sleep does the opposite. Even minor sleep fragmentation increases inflammatory signals that interfere with muscle protein synthesis. You may sleep for hours, yet never reach the deep restorative stages where muscles actually heal. In this state, muscles lose more protein overnight than they rebuild, creating a slow net loss that adds up week after week. Age intensifies this effect, but does not cause it alone. As people get older, nighttime anabolic signals weaken slightly, meaning muscles need more support to maintain the same repair rate. Without intentional nighttime care, muscles begin to shrink, fibers lose efficiency, and strength declines, even in people who stay active. This is why some individuals train consistently, yet feel weaker over time instead of stronger. Perhaps the most deceptive part is that daytime habits can mask the problem. Eating enough calories, lifting weights, and staying mobile may slow muscle loss, but they cannot fully compensate for repeated nighttime breakdown. Muscle health is not determined by a single workout or meal. It's determined by what happens repeatedly, especially during sleep. This is why muscles can weaken at night even when nutrition seems adequate. The night is not neutral. It's either protective or destructive, depending on how well the body is supported during its most critical repair window. Ignore it, and muscles quietly pay the price. During the day, your muscles respond to movement, food, and stress. At night, they respond to something far more subtle: availability. Availability of the one nutrient that allows muscles to finally let go, repair, and rebuild. Without it, even the best training and cleanest diet struggle to deliver results. And the body doesn't scream when this nutrient is missing. It whispers through cramps, stiffness, poor recovery, and quiet strength loss. That nutrient is magnesium. Magnesium is involved in more than 300 enzymatic reactions, but its role at night is especially critical for muscle health. Muscles contract using calcium, but they relax using magnesium. During the day, contraction dominates. At night, relaxation must take over. If magnesium is low, muscles remain partially contracted while you sleep, locked in a low-level state of tension. This tension consumes energy, disrupts blood flow, and interferes with the deep sleep phases where repair is meant to occur. One of magnesium's most important nighttime roles is calming the nervous system. Muscles don't operate independently, they respond to nerve signals. When the nervous system remains overactive, muscles stay on alert. Magnesium acts like a natural brake, reducing excessive nerve firing and allowing muscle fibers to fully relax. Without this calming effect, muscles never fully switch into repair mode, even if you sleep for many hours. Magnesium also plays a central role in protein synthesis, the process of building and repairing muscle fibers. During deep sleep, growth hormone signals muscle cells to rebuild damaged tissue, but those signals require magnesium to be effective. When magnesium levels are insufficient, the signals are weaker, repair is incomplete, and muscles lose more structural protein overnight than they regain. Over time, this leads to gradual thinning of muscle fibers and reduced strength. Another reason muscles crave magnesium at night is its role in energy regulation. Muscles store energy in the form of ATP, the molecule that powers contraction and repair. Magnesium is required to activate ATP. Without it, muscles have energy on paper but can't use it efficiently. This is why low magnesium often shows up as nighttime cramps, twitching, or a sense of deep fatigue that sleep doesn't fix. The muscles are tired not because they lack energy, but because they can't access it properly. Stress further increases magnesium demand. Modern stress drains magnesium rapidly through stress hormones and increased urinary loss. By nightfall, many people are already depleted. This creates a perfect storm: high nervous system activity, low magnesium availability, and a body attempting to repair itself under suboptimal conditions. The result is shallow sleep, incomplete muscle recovery, and waking up feeling stiff or weak despite resting. Age magnifies the problem. As magnesium absorption declines and requirements increase, nighttime deficiency becomes more likely. This contributes to the common experience of muscle tightness, cramps, and declining strength with age, not as an inevitable outcome, but as a correctable imbalance. The reason magnesium is so often overlooked is simple. It doesn't create an immediate dramatic sensation. Instead, its absence quietly erodes recovery, but when magnesium is restored, muscles finally get what they've been asking for all night long: permission to relax, rebuild, and preserve strength. This is why the right nighttime nutrient can make sleep restorative instead of merely unconscious. And once muscles finally recover the way they were designed to, it opens the door to a deeper question: What else in the body is waiting for proper nighttime support to function at its best? Sleep has the potential to be the most powerful muscle repair tool your body has, but for many people, it never fully becomes one. They spend hours in bed, yet wake up sore, stiff, or weaker than expected. The difference between sleep that merely passes time and sleep that actively rebuilds muscle often comes down to one overlooked factor: deep, uninterrupted sleep. Muscle repair does not happen evenly throughout the night. It is concentrated in the deepest stages of sleep, when the nervous system finally downshifts and the body redirects energy away from alertness and toward restoration. During this phase, growth hormone rises sharply, inflammation is reduced, and damaged muscle fibers receive the signals needed to rebuild stronger than before. Without sufficient deep sleep, this entire process is shortened or skipped. The one thing that turns sleep into a muscle repair window is allowing the nervous system to fully relax before bed. Muscles are controlled by nerves, and if the nervous system remains stimulated, muscles remain partially contracted, even during sleep. This prevents full repair, restricts blood flow, and keeps muscle tissue in a low-grade stress state throughout the night. Modern habits work against this. Bright screens, late-night stress, heavy meals too close to bedtime, and mental overstimulation keep the nervous system alert when it should be powering down. Even if you fall asleep, your body may hover in lighter sleep stages, never staying long enough in deep sleep for meaningful muscle recovery. You may be unconscious, but your muscles are still working. When the nervous system finally calms, something remarkable happens. Muscle fibers fully relax, allowing improved circulation. Oxygen and nutrients move more efficiently into damaged tissue, while metabolic waste is cleared out. This creates the internal environment muscles need to rebuild. At the same time, growth hormone signals satellite cells, specialized repair cells, to patch and strengthen muscle fibers that were stressed during the day. Another critical benefit of deep sleep is its effect on inflammation. Training, walking, and even daily posture create micro damage in muscle tissue. Deep sleep suppresses inflammatory chemicals that interfere with protein synthesis. Without this suppression, muscles remain inflamed and resistant to repair signals. This is why chronic poor sleep often leads to lingering soreness and stalled progress, regardless of exercise quality. Deep sleep also protects muscle mass by reducing nighttime muscle breakdown. When sleep is shallow or fragmented, stress hormones remain elevated. These hormones increase protein breakdown, meaning muscles lose tissue while you sleep. Deep sleep lowers these hormones, shifting the balance toward preservation and rebuilding instead of loss. The good news is that deep sleep is not random. It is supported by consistent signals. Lowering stimulation before bed, keeping sleep timing regular, and creating a calm pre-sleep routine all help. When the body learns that nighttime is safe and predictable, it more readily enters the stages where muscle repair thrives. This is why sleep is not just rest, it's a biological workshop. But the door only opens when the nervous system is allowed to stand down. Do that one thing, and sleep becomes the most efficient muscle repair window you'll ever access. And once sleep begins repairing muscle the way it was designed to, it leads to an even bigger realization. If deep sleep can restore muscle so powerfully, what other systems might be quietly waiting for the same signal to heal? Muscle loss rarely announces itself. It doesn't arrive with sudden weakness or dramatic pain. Instead, it slips in quietly at night while you sleep, disguised as harmless discomforts and normal aging. By the time most people recognize the problem, significant muscle function has already been lost. The key is learning to recognize the silent signs that muscles are being undernourished during their most critical repair window. One of the earliest signs is morning stiffness that lasts longer than a few minutes. Healthy muscles should feel relaxed and responsive after sleep. When muscles are starved of essential nutrients overnight, they remain tense and inflamed. This stiffness isn't caused by movement the day before, it's caused by incomplete nighttime repair. Muscles that don't receive adequate support fail to fully relax and rebuild, leaving them tight and resistant by morning. Another subtle signal is frequent nighttime cramping or twitching. These small disturbances are often dismissed as dehydration or bad posture, but they're more often signs of mineral imbalance and poor muscle relaxation. When muscles lack the nutrients required for proper nerve signaling and energy activation, they misfire during sleep. The body is trying to repair tissue, but the muscles can't cooperate with the process. Waking up feeling weaker rather than refreshed is another warning sign. This doesn't mean extreme fatigue. It's a quiet sense that strength hasn't fully returned. You may notice it when climbing stairs, gripping objects, or standing up after sitting. This happens when muscle protein breakdown during the night exceeds muscle repair. The scale may not change, but functional strength slowly erodes. Sleep quality itself can also be a clue. Muscles that are starved overnight send stress signals back to the nervous system. This can cause restless sleep, frequent awakenings, or light, unrefreshing rest. Many people blame stress or aging, never realizing their muscles are part of the problem. When muscles can't relax properly, the nervous system remains on guard, preventing deep restorative sleep. Another overlooked sign is delayed recovery from minor activity. Simple movements, carrying groceries, walking longer than usual, or light exercise begin to cause soreness that lingers for days. This suggests muscles are not rebuilding efficiently at night. Instead of repairing damage, the body enters each new day with unresolved micro-injuries, slowly accumulating weakness. Even posture can reveal nighttime muscle starvation. Muscles that fail to recover lose tone and coordination. This can show up as slouching, poor balance, or a feeling of instability. These changes don't happen overnight, but they are built overnight, night after night, when muscles don't get what they need. The most dangerous aspect of muscle starvation during sleep is how easy it is to ignore. There's no pain demanding attention, no dramatic event forcing action, just a gradual decline that feels inevitable until it isn't. Once these signs are recognized, muscle loss is no longer invisible, and that awareness leads to an important realization. If muscles are sending these signals during the night, the solution must also begin there. Strength doesn't disappear suddenly with age. It fades quietly, one night at a time, through small, repeated losses that feel insignificant in the moment. The good news is that protecting muscle strength doesn't require extreme workouts or complicated routines. One simple bedtime habit, done consistently, can make the difference between muscles that slowly weaken and muscles that remain resilient and responsive as the years pass. That habit is preparing your body for deep, uninterrupted sleep by supporting muscle relaxation before bed. As the day ends, the nervous system often remains overstimulated. Stress, screens, late meals, and constant mental engagement keep muscles in a low-level state of contraction. When this tension carries into sleep, muscles never fully relax. Without relaxation, blood flow is restricted, repair signals are blunted, and muscle tissue is slowly broken down instead of rebuilt. Over time, this becomes one of the primary drivers of age-related strength loss. A simple bedtime habit interrupts this cycle, intentionally signaling the body that it's safe to let go. This can be as basic as creating a short, consistent wind-down routine that lowers nervous system activity. When muscles receive the signal to relax before sleep, they enter the night in a state that allows repair instead of resistance. Relaxed muscles sleep differently. Circulation improves, allowing nutrients and oxygen to reach muscle fibers more efficiently. Waste products from the day's activity are cleared out. Growth and repair signals become more effective. This is especially important with age, when the body becomes less efficient at repairing tissue and more dependent on optimal conditions to maintain strength. Another powerful effect of this habit is its influence on inflammation. Chronic low-grade inflammation increases with age and directly interferes with muscle repair. Deep, calm sleep suppresses inflammatory signals, giving muscles the opportunity to rebuild instead of remain in a damaged state. Without this suppression, muscles slowly lose quality even if size appears unchanged. This bedtime habit also protects strength by reducing nighttime muscle breakdown. When the body remains stressed during sleep, stress hormones stay elevated, accelerating muscle protein loss. Relaxation before bed lowers these hormones, shifting the balance toward preservation. Muscles may not grow dramatically, but they stop shrinking quietly in the background. Perhaps the most underestimated benefit is consistency. Muscles don't need perfection, they need repetition. One calm, intentional bedtime routine repeated night after night compounds into meaningful protection against weakness. Over months and years, this small habit preserves mobility, balance, and confidence in everyday movement. This is why strength is not only built through effort, but maintained through recovery. The night either steals strength or safeguards it. A simple bedtime habit decides which one happens. And once strength is protected this way, it opens the door to a deeper understanding. Aging itself isn't the enemy, neglecting recovery is.